Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, ahchyam, Yahweh Shai, ahchyam Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, ahchyam, Yahweh Shai. Now, the inspiration for this video comes from a video that was done by the brother Micah from South Carolina. And the reason why I titled this video Micah 2 and 10 is because this place known as Babylon the Great in the Holy Scriptures, what the world ignorantly calls the United States of America, this country is full of corruption. So, when you live over here in Babylon the Great, automatically your ways and your ways of living is going to be corrupted, because Babylon allows corruption. If you were somebody who did not smoke before you moved over here to this country, you might try out a few vapors. If you were somebody, you used to keep your hair all straight and decent, and you might be a Israelite, you might be an African, you might be an East Indian, you might be an Arabian with woolly hair. You move over here and you might see this custom of Israelites walking up and down the street with dreads. And according to the Holy Scriptures, dreads are unclean. And the reason why dreads are unclean is because, think about it, your hair is locking up, and you're letting all this bacteria gather itself, collect up, and ultimately build up inside your hair. So with all this bacteria and this mildew and residue building up inside your hair, not only is it capable of getting you sick, and not only does it collect a foul odor, because you do, because think about it, in the summertime we all sweat, especially if it's humid outside. So here it is, you got dreads and you sweating, and all that sweat and bacteria is gathering up inside your head. You're also gathering a foul odor. And not only is you gathering a foul odor, but you're also paying homage to Elam's gods. You're basically worshiping Elam's gods, because dreads, in which, dreads, okay, dreads is not just a custom that Elam started with. Dreads really go back to the Hamites, okay, the Africans. Okay, those Africans, they started the whole thing with the dreads. And then because if you notice, a lot of these heathen nations, they'll pick up on some of the habits after the ancient Egyptian gods. Like look at the so-called white man. He worships some of these Hamitic gods. They're into that sun worship. Okay, Christmas, you know. Now, yeah, you know, Christmas, like the idea of like, you know, Santa and all that. Santa really goes back to our people. Okay? And a matter of fact, Santa is actually an extended word of the word saint. Okay? And it comes from an Israelite. He was known as Saint something. But he used to go throughout the village handing out, you know, free presents to the poor people who were Israelites. Okay? Now I forgot his name, but I know he was called Saint or Santa something. Okay, but he was an Israelite, a so-called Negro. But you know, the Christmas, you know, how Christmas is kept here in America and in Europe. Okay, you look at the Christmas tree, and what does that go back to? That goes back to Nimrod's missing private part. Okay, and what is the Christmas tree supposed to represent? It's supposed to represent Nimrod's missing private area. Okay, these little Christmas balls you put on the Christmas tree, it's supposed to represent his testes. You know, and ultimately, Christmas. The word Christmas, when you break it down, is a compound word. Okay, which you got Christ. You got the word Christ and the word Christmas, right? So Christ and then Mass. The word Mass is short for massacre. So the word Christmas is about the massacring of the Lord's anointed. So when you celebrate Christmas, you're celebrating the death of the prophets. You know, rather if it's the prophets of old time, or rather if it's the death of the Lord's disciples. You're celebrating the death of Yahushua. Okay? Who is the anointed, who was chosen to be a savior and a deliverer unto the nation of Israel. So it's important to know these things. The ways of his kingdom will destroy you. You know, celebrating Christmas also means that you're celebrating the death of the Lord's apostles. Okay, you're celebrating the death of Stephen. You're celebrating the death of all of the Lord's anointed. So the Lord's not going to hold you guiltless if you know not to celebrate Christmas and what his origins go back to, but you're still holding it, man. Nahum 1:3. The Lord will not at all acquit the wicked. So let's go to the book of Micah here, right? Chapter 2, verse 1. Excuse me. It's Micah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, no. Let's hit that right there and skip down to 10. Okay? Micah chapter 2, verse 10. It says, arise ye. Now this is a message going out to the Israelites, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. Arise ye and depart. Depart, meaning what? Come up out of the ways of his kingdom. You know, depart from the living conditions of his kingdom. Because at one point we were all Israelite Gentiles, you know. We were born and raised with this Hellenized, westernized mentality. You grew up thinking that pork was clean, it was okay to eat. You grew up, you know, you might have been a child. Your mom used to give you, because I know when I was a child, my mom used to give me a soup bowl, you know. She used to cut around my head and shit. And, hey, you know, fucking, I used to get made fun of in school for having soup bowls and shit. It was soup bowl. So yeah, you know, You went to school with a Super Bowl haircut. I mean, not knowing that shit really goes back to Ham, man. Again, Africa, you know. A lot of these customs really go back to Ham, man. Easter, that goes back to Ishtar, man. That's a so-called Hamitic goddess, which there's no such thing as a goddess. Ain't no such thing as no female god. Okay, women are not gods. But the point is that, you know, a lot of these customs go back to Ham, man. And you know that the rulers of this society worship Hamitic gods is because all you have to do is look at their customs, man. You know, you got Easter, you got Christmas. You know, the obelisks. The obelisks, that goes back to Ham. But you know, arise you and depart, man, cause the ways of this kingdom is corrupted. Like I said, you being born and raised in this society, you thought it was okay to be a simp, to be into women worship. You know, you might have thought it was okay to uplift women, and which there's nothing wrong with encouraging women to do the right thing. You know, I mean, you might have a sister who's on the volleyball team. You know, you might encourage her to get that spike. You know, but come on, man. You encouraging women to be, to commit whoredom? Nah, man. So arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. This kingdom is not our rest. Now, of course, when we were born in this society, we thought it was our rest. You know, when you went to school, your teachers asked you what your goal was in life. What do you hope to achieve? You know, you might have had this idea when you was a child of growing up to become the next greatest basketball player, to blow up to be the next biggest movie actor, to blow up to be the next rap artist. You might have been inspired to create clean rap music, you know, to better your society. You know, you might have been inspired to be a video game designer. You know, I grew up wanting to be a video game designer. You know, I just, when I was a child, one thing I discovered about myself was I just had this natural talent, this knack for creativity. Like, as a child, man, I had I had wild imaginations. You know, like I could literally create or come up with something from nothing, just like that, at the snap of a finger. You know, like, I was always good at writing books and coming up with stories, and and one thing about my creativity, not to brag or boast about myself, but I could be creative at anything. And I mean, when I talk about creative, I can be creative at basketball. Like, I have my own unique way of dribbling, my own unique way of getting to the hoop and getting them shots. My own unique way of getting my own rebounds. I just have my own unique way of playing basketball. Same thing with football. Same thing with soccer, with kickball, with baseball. I was a very multi-talented person, I mean, I was damn near a prodigy at math, I could solve 2-digit, some 3-digit multiplications in my head, So, I mean, I was very creative at art. So, I wanted to become a video game designer. I was always like drawing these art pictures. Now, I was nowhere on the level of art as like touching like high definition art. I mean, if I had stayed within that field of art, I could probably draw some high definition things, you know. But it's like I could just be creative at whatever, you know. That's why, like, you know, like you look at my videos and, you know, well, what do you see? You see stars. You see the name Yahweh. But anyways, you know, the point is that, you know, growing up in this society, we all had goals in mind, you know. We all had our own personal things that we wanted to do growing up in this society. Our personal goals from the time we were childs. You know, I mean, when you think about it, that was really just Esau trying to put that idea of the American dream inside your mind to keep you asleep. So you see, when you get older, you know, you already got your goal, which really your goal is your dream of what you want to be. And if you're still fighting to pursue that dream, then that means you are asleep. The Lord have not woken you up to the truth. You know, and there's a reason why it's called an American dream. Because these Edomites, starting with the so-called elites through the Illuminati, they've given these people this illusion of they could be whatever they want to be when they grow up. So if you want to be, you know, a drag queen racer, you know, you could do that. That's all a part of the American dream. Not knowing that according to the Holy Scriptures, that's going off. Okay? That is wrong 2.0. You don't do that. You don't do those things. So, only people dream when they're asleep. So this country is not a rest. Meaning what? This country was not meant for us to be asleep in. Because the only time you rest is when you're sleeping. Or you're taking a break, nonetheless. But we didn't come over here to take a break. In the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the Lord said that the sole of thy foot shall not know rest. I'm just roughly paraphrasing it. And if you notice, if you do try to make it in this society, you might graduate from college. You might be $10,000 in debt. You know, this society is all set up and designed to keep you at the bottom, man. So you don't make it. And ultimately, it's not that you can't make it. It's that the Lord said that you're not going to prosper. Okay, going back to the book of Deuteronomy. The 28th chapter, the Lord said that thy hand shall not prosper whatever thou settest thy hand to do. That's why, you know, Jake set up businesses. 9 times out of 10, that business is going to be closed within 2 to 3 months. You know, look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. What happened when Jake had something going for himself? You know, Jake had his own cities, his own communities. You know, hell, he damn near had his own currency, man. You know, he had his own education system. You know, Jake had jobs set up. Our people was doing their thing down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But what happened? The Lord put the spirit on Esau, Edom to go down there and bomb the shit out that place. So we were never meant to have it easy in this society. Because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. And the scriptures say that this place is polluted. Well, now let's go to Google. I have to look at some of these articles. Second student rower dies after apparent lightning strike on Florida lake. So the Lord takes another one out by lightning. Call halayim la ahchyam Yahweh ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, Shema Yasharallah. Our power is one. Shema Yasharallah ahchyam Yahweh ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Achad. Let's go to Google. Let's look up the definition for polluted. Or better yet, instead of polluted, let's look up the definition for pollute. Oh, excuse me. I misspelled that. Pollute. And here, what do we have? We have contaminate. This place is contaminated. Now, on the physical level, yes, this kingdom is contaminated. Okay? Every day we're breathing in chemtrails such as mercury, barium, arsenic, aluminum, estrogen. Okay, which aluminum is a harmful metal that is capable of causing autism in the mind. That's why a lot of these children, when their brains are not fully developed, what happens? They're breathing in these chemtrails and they end up with autism. They end up with ADHD. Can't even sit still for a couple of seconds, you know. Every second, even when they're sitting down, their body is shaking. They got too much energy. Their sugar levels is too high. You can give them one candy bar, and that dude will be jumping around like a jelly bean all day. Okay? Old people got Alzheimer's because of mercury, which mercury is a metal that can get through the blood-brain barrier and affect your mind. You see? Estrogen feminizes you. That's why a lot of these men that grow up, they got too much Kool-Aid in their tank and smeared on their lips. Smelling more sweeter than the most cutest girl in your classroom or at your job. Hey, it never sat right in my spirit, man. Like, it makes me feel extremely uncomfortable to breathe in. It makes me extremely uncomfortable to be around a super sweet smelling mocha. Okay, it never sits right with my spirit, man. I can't be around a super sweet smelling mocha. Okay, so it says contaminate. On the physical level, the water in this kingdom is contaminated. Not only do they put fluoride in your water, not only do they put chlorine in the water, because they say they put chlorine in your water to clean it, but chlorine is not good for the body. Okay, they put chlorine in pool water, and they tell you not to swallow pool water. They put chlorine in bleach. A lot of people don't know that. They put chlorine in bleach. That's why, like in certain states like Kentucky, your water has a bleach-like smell to it. There's not supposed to be bleach in drinking water. Okay? Fluoride makes you docile. It makes you obedient. It makes you a well-obedient servant to society. It dumbs you down. And the justification of them putting fluoride in water is what? Because it helps prevent tooth decay. Meanwhile, on the back of your toothpaste bottle, they tell you that if you swallow too much toothpaste, be sure to contact poison control. Why is that? Because there's fluoride in the toothpaste. Now, while fluoride is not necessarily bad for the body, but you're not supposed to swallow fluoride like that. Because your teeth needs fluoride. They're correct on that. But come on, man. Fluoride in drinking water? And there's a lot of people out there who drink this tap water, and their teeth is more yellower than piss. You know, some of them got cavity in their gums. Oh, especially them old niggas, man. Okay, they smile at night, and you'll think it's morning time and shit. They little black ass laying down in the street and shit. You wouldn't even know they're there until they start smiling. Little boy, you'll think Satan done crapped up on you or something. What the fuck you doing in the ground, nigga? No, Pookie just laying there. Nah, nigga, get your black ass up. You trying to get ran over? Can't nobody see you this dark at night and shit. You laying here in the street dressed in all black. But anyways, man, fluoride is not good for you. And not only do they put chlorine and fluoride in the drinking water, but they put microcosmic shrimp in the water. And if that wasn't bad enough, your water is flowing through pipes underground made from lead pipes. And that's why, because what happens is that after a certain amount of years, right, of water going through lead pipes, eventually them pipes start to rust out, and all the brown shit, which is not just rust but lead, it starts to get carried. It starts to get carried with the water, with the drinking supply. So now, when you got water running out of your faucet, what color is your water? Your water is brown, like shit water. And that's all that lead and rust that's being carried with your water that's flowing through your pipes. Okay, and not only is your water flowing through lead pipes, but the faucet of your sink that your water is coming out of is made from Teflon, which is also known as perfluorooctanic acid. And the acronym for that is PFOA, perfluorooctanic acid, which is a chemical known to cause hypertension in pregnancy, cancer, bone deteriorating disease known as osteoporosis. It is known to cause corrosion in teeth, hypertension in pregnancy. It is known to cause infirmity of the immune system, type 2 diabetes. The list goes on, man. So tap water is the last thing you would want to drink, man. So this kingdom is contaminated. Okay, the sidewalks, the streets that you walk on, they give off a certain kind of fume that's harmful to the brain. The vehicles that drive by contributes to polluting the air, because smog is not good for the body. You know, and that's why, like, you might go jogging, or you might sprint, or you might go running down the streets, and you realize you get tired real quickly. It's not that you're out of shape. I mean, being out of shape is a part of it, but the main reason behind that is because the air is polluted, man. You're breathing in all that smog, you know, which is why if you're going to go jogging, or if you're going to go running, it's best not to do it in an area where vehicles are highly active. You know, our bodies are so used to breathing in polluted air that if we was to breathe in clean air, we would literally become lightheaded and faint. We would pass out, because our bodies wouldn't recognize what clean, pure air is. Which is also another reason why, we're going to need those new bodies, because these weak, feeble bodies would not be able to handle fresh air. These bodies are used to polluted air. So this kingdom is polluted. The food we eat is polluted. They put pork in almost everything we eat. A lot of foods contain sugar. Sugar, like that white sugar is not good for you, man. They put rat shit in certain chocolates. Certain foods, such as Snickers bars, have bioengineered ingredients in it. A lot of food that we eat is genetically modified. They put plastic in a lot of foods, like noodles, rice. Can you look at rice? Rice is just a form of plastic, edible plastic, there is a such thing as edible plastic. Scalloped potatoes. I never liked eating boxed scalloped potatoes. Okay? Because in the back of my mind there was something always nasty taste. There was something always nasty tasted about those scalloped potatoes. Okay, so the point is that this kingdom is polluted. Okay, on the spiritual level, the ways of living of this kingdom is polluted. You know, the idols, the philosophies, the ideologies, the way of living is all polluted, man. And the ways of living in this kingdom is all based on the philosophy that goes back to Aleister Crowley. Doest thou wilt, shall be the will of the law. So, you know, a lot of people who are living after the ways of America, they're really living after the ways of Aleister Crowley's philosophy, which is doest thou wilt. Which is why when you read Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5, it say, yea, he transgresseth by wine. That wine is what? The philosophy, democracy, doest thou wilt, which goes back to Aleister Crowley. Yea, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. But heapeth unto him but gathereth unto him all people, and heapeth unto him, gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So here it says pollute, it says contaminate, water, air, or a place. So Esau knows what he does best. He even puts it in his definitions, because he pollutes the water, the air, and a place. Even the paint that they put on the walls, that's contamination. Okay, you can destroy your brain cells if you breathe in too much fumes from paint. Okay, it says with harmful or poisonous substance, and the chemtrails they spray up in the air is harmful or poisonous substance. Now, in the book of Psalms chapter 58 verse 3, it tells you that the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go estranged as soon as they be born, speak of lies. And then in the following verse, it says that their poison are as the poison of asps, which a asps is a serpent, a snake, a venomous snake. Okay, and on a spiritual level, you know, the serpent's poison is what? His lies, his pseudoscience, his idea, way of living, his philosophies. And that serpent is talking about the so-called white man, starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the Illuminati, who operate through these different governments around the world, especially the controlling of nations through their monetary banking system. Okay, here we have adulterate, which is a shortened word for adulteress. And the spiritual adultery is what? When you walk after the ways that is outside of the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So if you're an Israelite living after the ways of Babylon, then you're committing spiritual adultery, because you're not only is you're contributing to these Hamitic gods, but you're contributing to Aleister Crowley, you're contributing to the Illuminati and the so-called elites. Especially when you worship these wicked holidays, like right now, the most wicked holiday of all the other holidays that the Illuminati worship and keep is coming up, called Halloween. Okay, and that's next month. So Halloween is coming up, and you better best believe children is going to come up missing. They're going to be sending up demonic enchantments. You know, they're going to be sending up demonic enchantments. You know, they're going to be casting spells on people. They're going to be calling summoning demons on people. So, yeah, man. Yeah, we need to be sending up prayers, man, because, yeah, man, it's a very demonic holiday. But our people's going to be celebrating it though. They're going to be throwing Halloween parties. You know, some people birthdays fall on Halloween. So, you know, it's going to be a lot of vaping going on. A lot of people's going to be getting high on Halloween. So here, under pollute, right, we also have defile or corrupt. Okay? So this country is corrupted. It shall destroy you even with a sword of destruction. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. You know, our people is caught up. Our people is caught up too much. Excuse me. Our people is caught up too much into the corrupted ways of this society. Every walk of life in this kingdom is corrupted. So arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is corrupted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.